Welcome to The Vault with Financielle. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits. For the final time of 2024.
Oh my God.
Hello.
I'm saying goodbye to 2024. This has been a mad year. Mad year.
Really weird.
Yeah. Just as
speechless.
Speechless. No, it has. Like, this is the first year we've done the pod and it's gone so quick.
I feel like it's always been here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
it
we've
doesn't
always
feel
done
new.
this. Well, because we basically do this on work calls.
Yeah.
Well, we did always say when we started the vault that this is just like being in our office. So we have always been doing it, but it only started in March. I think maybe last week of February.
It's like the last day of Feb, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
literally.
Yeah.
And I knew, we always said that this was, for the financial community, it was like to bring stuff to life and to bring stories. And a lot of people might not know this, but the dilemma system was built on basically our Instagram inbox. So we constantly, for years, have always had private dilemmas dropped in there. Some of them like one-liners, some of them lengthy text. Some of the voice notes were here for the voice notes as well.
Even in person,
Yes.
I feel like we've been at events and people coming up to you to like, please help me, like reeling their whole life
Do you
story.
remember the woman that was like, "You've saved my marriage"? She's like,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
husband wants to say thank you as well because I was like an overspender, impulsive spender. I think she was an accountant or
She's
chief
CFO.
financial
She was
officer.
very
In
cool
charge
girl.
of £1 million budgets. And she said, it just does not translate personally to me, this concept of managing money and not getting into impulsive spending. She did come over to you and she was like, "You've literally saved my marriage."
It was
like,
also
wow.
a really boring event, and she
Yeah,
was
thank
there.
God
So
she
it's
broke
like,
it
thank
up.
God someone from Financielle's here. It's really funny because when other people from because obviously we run a tech business. This is the app that sits behind the platform, and so sometimes we have to go to those events. And it was like loads of typically men, of a certain demographic, white male, just like all chatting and wanting to chat to you about them maybe usually. And then someone came up and was like, "I'm a listener of Financielle.
Yeah.
I'm a Financielle user. I'm
Yeah.
Financielle follower." And you go, "Okay, can we talk now?"
Yeah. Do you know the like thing that's like when the girlies get it? Get it? Like, the girlies
It's like,
that get
thank
it,
God
get it.
you've just rescued me. But that is true that people in lots of different mediums come over and that's what we wanted for the pod, but we knew we wanted to do it properly. And how do you bring these stories to life? And now, Lucy asks for people to message in and we get that many. We don't get to do them all. We
Yeah.
don't. So, but we do record this ahead of time. So obviously this is coming to you on Boxing Day. We are not together on Boxing Day. We would probably love it if we were, but we're actually, recording ahead of time. And sometimes Lucy or Holly will nudge me and go, "We need to go back to this one. We need to do this quite quickly."
There's a load that we can't sit and wait on. Someone's like, "Emergency, urgent,
Yeah.
like what shall I do?" And we're like, "Oh, this is only going to get filmed in 3 weeks' time." So we kind of put it to the top of the pile to get answered because, we want to help you as quickly as we possibly can. There's some people going through some hard things.
But it's grown from the people that use the app to just loads of different people that go, "Oh my God, I listened to the podcast. I didn't know that was you guys." And we want to guess with this last one, I've got some thank yous.
Yeah.
Do we thank everyone? Thank you for the content.
Yeah.
Mainly our friend Suze for the chat.
Everyone's like, "Who is this Sue?"
We'll get her on.
Thanks
We've
to
got a
Lydia
plan.
because everyone loves Lydia. Anyone that I speak to about the pod's always like, "I love listening to Lydia." When Lydia chirps up, I'm like, "What has Lydia got to say?"
I love watching it on YouTube and we're all there like
Yeah.
looking at like we're watching the cinema and
Main
it's Lydia.
character energy. Lydia's on her own in a producer chair, and we're all looking at her with bated breath, like, "What is she going to say?" Always
Wild
gold.
card.
Yeah. We love it.
Speaking of Boxing Day, this means we can predict what we got for, what do you hope that you get for Christmas?
Oh, I've asked what I specifically want for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I don't play that game anymore.
So what did you get
Predict what you
yesterday?
get
Go on.
and then we're going to post it on Instagram what you actually got.
Okay, so I know I got it as well because we did our budget and I saw it.
No
I
surprise.
asked for it and I got it. So I've got an anthropology bubble initial necklace. Did you like bubble
Ooh,
writing in
nice.
school?
Yes.
Very, very poorly on my part, but it's a bubble gold anthropology necklace. And Neil got a surprise because I don't know what I'm getting him yet. And we're recording before the
You've
pod,
got to
so
get
Merry
moving.
Christmas,
You
Neil.
are absolutely a last minute garage in the corner of the street kind of.
Well, I think we've got to that age
Broad
where
streets.
we're too busy for surprises. Like, I get angry when it's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, no. I'm not playing that game. I have done a list of presents for 2 children. I have then, Laura will sympathise with me here, the parents and parents-in-law then come to us and say, what do you specifically want for the children? Which is great, because then they're not getting them anything that they know that they won't particularly enjoy. But you end up giving your good ideas to then your parents and in-laws. So then you're left scratching your head, what can I do to fill the rest of the list? So I have mentally, the gift load is high at this time of year. And we go on holiday as well.
So we don't
the
need
week before
martyrs
Christmas.
saying, I don't need anything.
Oh,
That's what my husband
fine.
says. Oh, I don't mind. You do though.
Yeah.
Because you'll be annoyed on the
Well,
day.
I threaten, I'm like, on Christmas Day, there will be nothing for you. I'm not going to take it of my own. Like, I'm not going to go and spend more time.
I can't choose for you as well.
I'm tired. So, Neil, if you don't get anything, it's because you didn't come up with anything. And if not, I always get you a hot drinks mug as a joke, and you will be getting one of those. So, I hope you enjoy it.
So
What did you get?
I'm getting some GHD curling tongs, like a wand.
Ooh.
So I am a GHD curl girl from
Stan.
like the first time someone burnt off their hair doing it in the 2010s, 2010s.
No more ironing. Remember people used to iron the hair
They did.
on an
They
ironing
did.
board?
I thought that was just like Marge from The Simpsons.
I was going to
No.
say Marge.
No, they did. No, this is really sad because this
That
is
was
where
a thing.
this is where the division happens in the group, where we're those of one age versus the other age.
Have you ever ironed your hair?
No, but you could.
Someone's ironed my hair for me.
Yeah,
a friend,
you couldn't
yeah.
get to the roots. How many people?
Do you not know that people did this?
How many people?
I thought it was like,
How many
Not
people
real.
had like froze there because you couldn't get to the roots of your hair on the ironing? You're lying on the ironing board, hoping that your friend won't burn
Under
your
a tea
head.
towel. Yeah. I've had it done once, but then I had a very lucky Christmas one year, and my mum and dad got me because I had curly hair problems more than you did. Yours has got more curly as you've got older.
It has, yeah. Wavy.
It was the Babyliss first ever straighteners, and they had do you know like a steamer that's got a
Yeah.
water bit, so you used to fill it up with water, like it was this big,
I
and
used
you
to
used to
have a curler
slide it
like
in,
that.
and it got and so yeah, I mean, when you could go straight, that was like a big moment
If
for
your
lots of
straighteners
people.
didn't hiss, you weren't doing it right,
yeah.
or it wasn't going to work.
I can't believe you experienced the like creation of straighteners.
just needs to take a moment.
Did you ever have the Babyliss like hair braider, and it was like a machine that you put
Oh,
3
yeah.
pieces of
I
hair
had
in, and
that.
then it just pulled all your hair out?
It looks scary.
You'd have to cut it out.
That's a weapon. That's a weapon.
I've seen it do those with like actual like cotton and braids as well. You can
Oh,
get them for
yeah.
kids, I think.
I saw those. I
Gotta be on
thought
the
of
list.
Carl immediately. I was like, Carl would do that with Albie. Like create plaits, and then it puts a bead on the
He's
end. And I was like, Carl would be great at that.
He would be great at
He's
it.
the Don. Do you remember those straighteners you had that were like literally this big,
Yeah.
and they went down your head? There was a comb at the end.
Yeah, they
like
were
a
like
claw.
2 irons.
Oh,
2 irons.
Because if you had thick hair,
yeah.
getting the little ones that like,
Yeah.
ooh. I
Yeah.
remember going out with a friend once, and the only straightener she had, because I think she'd left them at her other house, at a house when we were out in a hotel, were like, the thin
Yeah, I'm just
GHD
about to say
ones.
like the
Oh
little
my God.
scissors. Like,
They were beautiful pixie cuts.
is that what it was for? People with short hair.
Yeah. But it would have just like, I was like, okay, well, I'm not wearing my hair down then.
So,
So I'm getting the curlers.
yeah, because we did a debate,
That's
didn't
good.
we? Someone did a you did a Instagram stories like a couple of weeks ago, and it was what am I going to talk you out of buying? And someone
Oh my
said,
God,
oh, I
it's so
want to
much
buy the
fun.
Dyson hair wrap, and Lucy was like, I'm jumping on this. Or we made Lucy jump on it and say,
Yeah.
right, tell
It's
people
not
why they
worth it.
shouldn't.
GHD. I'm also now a GHD stan.
What does it stand for? Good hair.
Good hair day.
Good hair day. I
I've
think
got
it does.
no idea.
No, I think it
I've
does.
never
No,
even
I think
thought
it is
about
good
that one.
hair day.
Oh, GHD, good hair day. Yeah, that
I've
makes
never even
sense.
thought about what it stands for.
Well, in this country, the voltage on them isn't as on these equipment is not as high as in the States, right? So for years, I've always wanted curlers, but every time I've used anyone's, it doesn't hold in my
Yeah.
head. To be fair, one of the hairdressers that is in the hairdresser I go to, Amy, she's like, out of everything, the straightener curls will keep the best because of the way that they do them. So I get that.
It burns your hair.
It's a
into
particular
place.
type of curl. And then when
Yeah.
I've been on the BBC more and more regularly, Nancy especially typically will use the wand, the soft curl tongue wand thing. And so I've had it used on my hair repeatedly. and it gives a different type of curl, which is a different look because I just wear my hair down. That's what I do. So I've decided to go for it. So I'm going to get those, and well, I hope I got them because I ordered them.
This is where you wake up
I
with
don't, there's a
Babyliss.
problem.
If I don't have an Amazon issue, I've not had I was definitely good. And the other thing is I'm going to get some trainers.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
I know.
And you got trainers not long ago.
Yeah, got
That's
one.
not like you.
No, I know. I've had a trainer moment. So my husband's a big into trainers, and he makes, what happens is it starts gentle where he's like, trainers, shall I clean your trainers? And like, are you going to wear those?
Hinting that you look scruffy.
And so I've not got some Uber. These Steve Maddens are fab. I love them and they look nice, but I don't want to walk a long time in them. And they're very white, so like they're for a particular look. So they're the chocolate New Balance with the leopard N.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Cool.
More of a
So
like with a jean.
dressier jeans, and like I feel like I could wear them casually as well. So yeah, 2 big presents.
Merry
Because-
Christmas
so
to you.
Let me just tell you a little bit what happened with the budget, right? So we need to do a breakdown at some point. Who was it? Was it you said that Carl needs to sell his spreadsheet?
Yeah, he needs to be a digital product.
So we have a Notion table as a family because we've got 3 children, and again, all the flaming family want to say, what does everyone buy them? Can I have an idea? So the columns go item, link, hyperlink to item. There's a buyer column, so we have to write who's going to buy it. There is a purchased, and there's a delivered, and then there's a comments, just in case he puts ideas and I go, no.
Comments. Looks really good. Well done.
Or no,
Shit.
delete.
Took back, return.
And so like we can total it, so you can work out what each child is getting. You can look at who's bought it, because what happens is you're just so crazy that you're like, did we buy that thing? Did we not? And I know this is not helpful on Boxing Day, but I'm hoping I'm getting you ready for next year. But there was a point to the story. And I've forgotten what it is.
Well,
that was it. So when we're looking at our presents, so we have, this is really important actually, because now is the time to get your shit together for next Christmas. When you pick your sinking fund total for Christmas, you have to pick the gift totals that you're buying for everyone, anything that you're buying for yourself, any outfits, any nights out. You have to really think about it, because I promise you're going to underestimate it.
I've underdone it.
And so what we did is we kind of worked out, so we would spend this much on the kids, and we'll spend this much on us, and we'll need this for some Christmas outfits, and then we'll need this for activities. And I can't remember the amount, but let's say I said, let's spend 150 on us. And then, so I was like, GHGs and trainers, and that came to 220. And I was like, oh, Carl, I think we need to up the budget. It was like, nope. It was like, you need to take money off the kids. I was like,
I thought he was going to say, take it off me. He's like, no, take it off the kids.
no, it was like, if you want it. I was like, oh. And I did some jiggly
I'll forego an outfit.
Yes, we did. I was like, no, the kids is already a good budget.
Yeah.
And so, but that's what he did. And I was like, yeah, we do need to do that. And so what you don't do is set a budget and then go, right, I want straighteners, I don't want trainers. And I also brought down I always buy too much for stockings. And so this year I haven't bought as much for stockings. They're not as bulging and can't fit stuff in. But I brought that budget down too, because that adds up, because that's pretend stuff.
And half of it's plastic. And I've just got so much more mindful about what I buy kids now, because the guilt of throwing stuff away, I hate it, and it plays on my mind.
And not them. Like a lot of the time it's us. They don't need as much as
they don't
we
have a
say.
clue.
So, right. So that was a long chat about what I got and the reasons behind it, and hopefully it helps a little bit. We'll do some more work on it. But passing the baton, Lydia, what did you get?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, amazing.
Have you not asked? Did you not ask for anything specific?
My mum asked me what I wanted, and I gave her an answer, and I've forgotten what I asked for.
But we have a list usually of things that you want to buy. Would you pass that list
Oh,
over?
that list.
Well, would anything
not
on
the
that
Christmas list.
No, it's not. But could it be the
What the hell did I ask for?
probably a bunny hammock?
You're going to be surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to be surprised because I've completely forgotten.
yeah, I am. You are surprised because you don't know. Well, why don't we go over to Lucy while you ever think about it? You might remember. She's looking
my
at the phone
messages.
now. What, Lucy? What did you get for Christmas?
I hope I got a Jeff Avenue dressing gown.
Of course. How
Which
could we
my
forget?
Investigative work. I think I have got it.
She knows. She knows.
I did hint about it.
Multiple times.
And I got told it was a ridiculous present.
So you've definitely
And then
got it
I said about how much joy your dressing gown brings me.
You pitched it.
Did you do a
Yeah,
presentation?
Oh, sorry,
Literally.
presentation.
PowerPoint.
And then I worked out who they ship with, and they use DHL. And I've seen a couple of DHL messages on Alex's phone. So
She's done investigative work.
When you've been on the phone.
Jesus, it like came up like when we were in the car and his phone's there, and I'm like,
Did you say anything?
I was like, what's that?
Oh,
He was like, just a present.
I always
For
seem
myself.
to ruin Neil's surprises, and he's like,
this-
for God's sake.
If this is something for Alex, this is a real shame now, isn't
I know,
it?
yeah.
You know, if it's just like,
Imagine.
oh, it's just a present.
Maybe he got himself a
Got
dressing
myself.
gown.
I've got Primark dressing gown.
No, you've got it. We've talked about it on the pod. If he
I really
doesn't,
I hope I'm listening to this on Boxing Day, sat in my Jeff Avenue dressing gown
With a coffee.
yeah, and
reading
Ferrero
my book.
Rocher.
Yep. Oh my God, I just noticed.
She was so excited at this prospect of the present she's
She's
still
knocked a
towards.
drink over
Kick my drink over.
at the prospect of this dressing gown. Jesus Christ, Alex, if you've not got this dressing gown,
I really.
I'm coming round to
We'll
sort
do
you
it
out.
round.
I'm going to post a story.
There'll be
on
a Just Giving
Financielle
page.
in my dressing gown.
So she said, so everyone go to the page now.
Yep. Go
Has
to the
she
page.
got it on?
Boxing Day.
And
Have
it's
I got
Laura
a Jeff
curling her
Avenue?
hair in her trainers.
Yeah.
And I've got my necklace on. And what do we know what Lydia's got?
Oh yeah, it's not very exciting.
That's all right.
Just tinted moisturiser, like a nice. It's NARS.
Yeah,
Do you know
nice.
NARS?
That's bougie.
It's bougie, and I don't
It
want
is?
to buy it for myself. So I'm
No.
like,
Perfect
can Santa
present.
buy that for me, please?
I'm here for that.
Yeah. So that's
My,
it.
my mum was,
Bougie skincare.
mum was asking what she can get Carl and I, and do you know what his response was? I know
Carpet.
we spoke about that in the past, so he wanted a carpet for his 40th birthday, and I told him no, that's we just get that. Like if we save for that and we buy a
Practical.
carpet, I can't wrap it up. It'd be a great present. Wouldn't it?
All right,
Like,
go
Yeah.
go around it under your arm.
he wants, and we're not going to get it because we'll just get this, possibly crockery.
Oh, for God's sake.
But it's because he's fed up of being the IKEA hun that we always talk about me being like, I'm still not growing up. And this is like, it's like they were saying white bowls. And then we showed me a set that had no plulls. So
Oh,
I'll
you need
update you
bowls.
on that. But yeah, crockery. And it just felt a bit like, oh,
No.
crockery.
Mum's
That would be an
so
exciting gift for me.
Yeah,
I'd be
you'd
like,
be-
oh my God, okay.
yeah, but you'd
Perfect.
you'd want the joy of picking it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're rather than someone being like, I brought you. Imagine, you see it on things, you see it on threads, you know, when people like mother-in-law's gift that people get them.
Oh yeah.
My friend used to get it still sticks in my brain. I don't know if I've spoken about it before on the pod. I'm not saying her name. Her mother-in-law knew that she wouldn't like this and got her a bag with woodland creatures on.
What?
Tell me mother-in-law
like
doesn't like you.
Sylvanian families.
Merry Christmas.
Was it Radley?
Squirrel. Well, I thought it was Radley. I think I've said it before with dogs on it, but I remembered specifically it's woodland creatures, so I don't even think it's Radley. It's not even a
It's a
reseller
Radley
market
knockoff.
for it.
Um,
Fadley.
And given it is Boxing Day, I think we will be on Instagram today. You're going to check to see if Lucy got the dressing gown. So tell us what shit you got.
Yeah, don't some of the good
Yeah.
stuff. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
No.
tell us what you're like regifting
Yeah.
throughout the year.
We said, didn't we? We want to set up a shop in Manchester that's the re-gift
swap
store.
shop.
Whereas on like after Boxing Day, you can come and just give your shit away. Like, what is it that you get every year that you don't want?
My mum's such a like serial returner, but she's so brutal. She'll just
on.
like tell the person like
Really?
from a partner before she's had some Louboutins, and she's like, they're the wrong ones. Let's take it back and get the
Oh.
right ones.
Well, I admire that. 'cause
respect
That's,
it.
that's
that
a lot
amount
of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of money,
You don't want
isn't
to suck it up.
No.
I think she's sold them as well because they're so uncomfortable. They're like this.
I'm sorry. Our friend wore them for a ball that we go to every year, and she was like, try them on. And I was like,
No.
all right then, try them on. Bearing in mind, I hadn't shaved my legs because my dress was down to the floor. So everyone was like, show us the shoes. And I was like, thank God it was in the pitch dark. But she was like, touching my leg, oh, they look amazing. I was like, oh no, please. I've never... So she wears really high shoes. I'm talking like YSL are the tributes, like the famous caged YSL shoe, very like Kim K. Wears really high shoes all the time. She put them on to wear with her dress and then went upstairs to get changed into her YSL tributes because she couldn't wear them. So I
Yeah.
took pictures in them. I think they were like £2,000. And
They're
she's
insane.
like, I can't wear them. They're so painful, but I can't bear to give them up because they're a beautiful shoe. They were
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. But she literally wore them for pictures, sat down in the meal and then went, okay, I'm going upstairs now to
hope
go
she
and
took
change
them
my
back.
shoes. No, she still got them. No, she's had them years, but she wears them for pictures, and then she goes and puts them back. She knows who it is. But I stand up in them to get to even.
They're so painful.
No, just dangerous.
Insane.
Yeah. So yeah, take what we're saying about taking. Don't feel guilty and don't sit on those presents that you don't like. Do something with them. Get them out.
The gift is in the giving. Like,
yes.
Yeah, it's done now. So whether it's in a drawer or whether it's you've taken it back, you've got a gift receipt, or whether you've swapped it for something else,
or whether you just like you can't resell it because it's a handbag with woodland animals on.
But
just
also remember how you're feeling, right? Because this is the time to plan to next year now and go, we're not doing this next year.
Yeah.
Like if there's been this exchange of rubbish, or you've been made to feel like you've not given enough, or this is a time to work on managing expectations. It's not in a miserable way. You're going to have to position it and pitch it, but now is the time. Remember how you're feeling. Were you happy with what you gave? Were you happy with what you spent? Were you happy with what you got? And you have to be the master of your own destiny. This shit won't just change. Okay.
Do you remember someone just put in on that? Someone put in the community a couple of weeks ago that she buys for her mum and for her sister, and she felt that they sometimes feel that her gift giving is inadequate, and that seriously, I think she came from, her mum was in foster care, so I think her mum's now coming to a little bit of money, or they're very like financially well, so now they're like, because I didn't get anything when I was younger, we're all going to go big and you're all going to come with me.
It's how we show love.
And she said that it puts her into debt every single year, and she felt like this was the year that she kind of wanted to break that habit, and I just went all in on it. I don't like people making someone else feel inadequate for how much money they spend. It's not about how much you spend, and if you're feeling guilt, shame, regret about how much you spent over Christmas, like Laura said, today is the day, or these next couple of days, it's a perfect opportunity to put a plan in for place for next year. You can't be over prepared when it comes to stuff like this, because people still pay off Christmas presents up until August when they use credit. Wow. We do not want people doing that. So Laura's right. This is like line in the sand. This is your sign from us to get your shit together for next year.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a controversial opinion. We're going to move on to New Year energy. Okay. New Year's resolutions never work.
Yeah, they literally never work.
Yeah, have you ever had what? Has there ever been any? It'll be interesting to know. Has anyone ever set one and then they've changed habits for life?
I feel like a resolution is like restricting something.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
It's always
formal.
like, yeah, it's so restrictive and strict.
This
black
is
and
the
white.
year that I'm gonna blah.
Yeah. The year that I'm never going to eat chocolate ever again.
For women, it is a lot around weight, isn't it? And men as well, actually. You hear women talk all this, I'm going to go on a diet for holiday, I'm going to go on a diet for this. But actually, it is male and female. You will hear men saying, I'm going to like go to the gym more this year, or I'm going to finally start my fitness journey. But it's very black and white. Mm-hmm. It's not very grey. And we live in a world that is absolutely grey. We can't create rules at the beginning of the year because we're a different person 6 months in.
Oh, gotcha.
Things change, don't they?
Yeah, January is a lovely time to detox, and I say it in the non-commercialization sense. Sometimes December has been full of other people's plans for us. I think we've been super lucky, especially as you get older, that you do less stuff that you don't want to do, and you do more of what you do want to do. So like 100%. The nights out that you do are the chosen ones, and this, it's hilarious when you're trying to organize calendars like in August and September for Christmas stuff, but I think it's worth it because what it means is the ones that matter get put in, and then you can it's a hectic time. And so whether it's, you're drinking more alcohol than you would usually, or
eating more,
it's
excess, isn't it?
Out
December's excess.
Late nights, dark, and it's plans, logistics. If you have children and you've got those logistics on top as well, they all have Christmas things going on. So there is something about this like time now between Christmas and New Year where you can have a little think about a rest period, which might not be rest like physically rest, but a rest from all that chaos. And so I like the idea that you would maybe set intentions for January and not for the whole year.
Well, people just go so intense. So if anyone in our village is thinking of joining our gym in January, don't, because I have been going with Laura and our friends, our gym friends, for the last 2 years consistently. And every January, we're like, can't get on the class. And then in February, there's no one to be seen. Like the class gets cancelled because there's 2 people. I'm like, can we stop with the dramatics? Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't have to be this excess. Detox, a great word, but people take it so literally. Like, I'm just going to have a smoothie and some nuts. Yeah. And then they're miserable.
And step counting. I'm going to walk 10,000 steps a day in 2025.
Can you dispel the myth of it? Is it you that told me about the 10,000 steps?
No,
it wasn't you.
Oh, no, it's Neil.
Tell us, Lucy.
It was
looking petrified.
It was Neil. So it was created by a Japanese company that made a pedometer.
Yeah, so they were like,
and they needed a nice round number.
My TikTok is like, you need 20,000 steps or you're going to die.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Do you know what I saw? I saw a fab girl actually on my TikTok For You page from LA, and she like an influencer, so super fit and super lots of time. So let's be very clear about the situation. But she goes for an hour walk a day. And I was going through a phase of I've not got my aura ring on. I'm just realising
you're gonna die. She's gonna die.
I've not got my aura ring on for those people that couldn't hear because I was so high pitched then. That
not tracking your heartbeat, so you're technically
to this
dead.
point. So actually, I'm really enjoying that for knowing my sleep,
which is very little.
But it makes me get it. I love it. It tells me to go to bed, and when I get tired and Carl's not tired, I'm like, well, my ring's telling me I need to go to bed. But to that point, so I was at a point where like I've been on such a really good weight loss journey recently, where I'm not getting on the scales. I am just moderation rather than like absolute cuts. And I was getting so obsessed with the number of steps a day to the point where I was like wanting to go on the walking pad, and then the aura ring doesn't work, or pedometers when you type in and walk in. So I'd put it down my bra because it works. I was testing it out. I was like, will this work? Well, it's not. Because
where can I put this?
So I can get this number, that I was so obsessed with the number that like even at night I'd be like, I need to go on a walk to hit this number.
Alex does
and my
that.
kids are that like, well,
you're trying to close a ring.
I think what's difficult though is if you don't, the problem is you can be so sedentary and sit still all day. And I saw this girl just say, I got obsessed with numbers and I didn't like doing that. So I go for a walk for an hour a day. And if I don't get that hour in, and it could be 2 half an hours, but I've at least broken up into 15 minutes ones. And so she says, because I'm setting my time by it, she said, I enjoy the walk. I'm not checking how many steps I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about life. I'm chatting to a friend, or I go for a social walk because I've not said, do you want to go for a walk? But I need to get 5,000 steps in.
Yeah.
And so that I just love that like moderation.
Joy out of it, doesn't it? To be constantly, we're still under this like, oh, something's over me, tracking me. I need to close the ring. I need to hit the number.
But to that point, it's harder when you've got to track it, and when it's a goal. I think we set ourselves up to fail. This is the problem with like, this is the New Year's resolution. If I'm going to drink 2 liters of water a day. Like, I'm just like, who decided 2?
Because I'm never out the toilet. You won't see me.
Yeah. But like, you should just drink more water. But with like the Stanley Cup thing and the an ice cup thing, like, I guess as women, we do like to gamify something, and we do like to make something pretty. So there's nothing wrong with that, but we're missing the point that we should have been doing that anyway. We should have a glass of water with every meal. We should be drinking more water, but you don't need like I'm gonna do this and do this, because what you're setting yourself up for is overwhelm, I think.
And as a female, you go, I'm going to drink more water, so I need to buy a Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
I need to walk more, so I need to buy a walking pad.
That's me.
Yeah. Hello.
I bought the walking pad. You bought the Stanley Cup. Like,
what do I buy then? But it is just go out for a walk. Just drink more water. You've got glasses at home. They'll do. Like, women have to like tangibly have an item. I think
on the podcast is the only time I drink water out of a glass.
God. What do you usually drink out of?
I just love water bottles.
Okay.
Like, I'm a water bottle addict.
Yeah.
I need my emotional support water bottle.
Yeah.
She's over there.
She's got eyes on.
She's got a name.
She's never far.
Oh, so yeah, I think it's the like, don't overwhelm, but really it's not wrong to have change and goals and stuff, but not like making it a 1st of January thing.
No, and if you fail, you're a bad person or a failure. Like, you can always pick stuff back up again. It's the money thing and the eating thing. When people get to like the first week and they go, oh, I've fallen off the wagon with the money. They'll write in the community, they go, I'll just sod it. And you're like, no.
Yeah, it's all or nothing,
yes.
isn't it? It's the small changes that add up as well. Then.
Yeah, that's us. That little habit changes, make incremental changes. To go all in, you're going to fail. It's like when I do a strict budget and I tell people, they go, oh, my budget's not right. It's the first month, and everyone piles in and says, your first budget's never going to be right. And everyone always says, the reason why it's probably not is because you've gone too hard.
Yeah.
And all the community members that have been through that, they're 3 months in, 4 months in, 6 months in, 2 years in, they're like, you've gone too strict, I can tell. Like, you need to be kinder to yourself and give yourself a bit more room in the budget, because you are literally setting yourself up for failure. So yeah, say no to New Year's resolutions. But if you want to get your money shit together this year, that is always a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, feel free to want to make a change, but ease yourself in. I always think men are better than women.
I do.
I just think
We're terrible.
We make ourselves so much work. We create work. We love creating extra tasks.
We like being busy.
I also the thing of like seasonal living. Spring is the time you're supposed to be like, okay, New Year's.
Oh yeah, you
New
always
Year,
say
like,
this to me.
Now is the time to set new goals, and like summer's about to come out. We're in the depths of winter for New Year.
Look after yourself.
Yeah.
Be
Oh
Oh my
kind.
God, that's such a good idea.
I
We
say
should
all
really
that.
do.
I will absolutely be on my New Year grind.
That's what I say.
I'll be like, I need to be so productive today.
Lucy will have a Notion page, no doubt.
She'll have a new book.
Notebook,
New book.
Notion page, step counter,
Everything
water
planned out.
tracker. Surely you've got one of those in there somewhere. She's all taught this one.
Breathing tracker.
Track anything.
Yeah. Can you track mine as well? You'd love that.
Okay, I'm gonna read the first dilemma. Oh, the last
Ooh.
first dilemma
Yeah,
of
okay.
2024. Okay. I'm so overwhelmed with my debt. How do I turn it around this year? Hi girls. I'm starting 2025 with £5,400 of debt and no savings. I feel so overwhelmed. I don't even know where to start. I want this year to be the year I turn my finances around, but I feel stuck between paying off debt and saving for emergencies. Should I focus on one before the other? And how do I even make a plan that's realistic and doesn't make me feel like I'm sacrificing everything? I see people on social media and in the community smashing their goals, but I don't know how to take that first step.
Good one.
Do you know so many people have this situation where you have this like the credit's available. You've been given it. You might have like a buy now pay later account, or you might have like a credit card. It's 0%. It's like no pressure. And you seemingly don't worry about savings because you've been using the credit. But what happens is you build it up and build it up and build it up, and you're getting closer to that limit. The pressure of suddenly I have to pay that back and I've no savings. And you can't lean on it if you've got an emergency because that's been your thing. You've got it there. That it does feel overwhelming. But I feel like she's made the first step, which is I'm going to get rid of it once and for all. And it can be super hard kind of in the community when you see other people.
Yeah,
doing
you
it.
feel like everyone's smashing it, but
Everyone's been through that first thing of it feeling incredible, like you're just faced with hurdles, nothing else.
yeah, you feel like the world's against you and it's hard to get going. But everyone always asks this dilemma about should I save for emergencies or should I pay my debt off first? And it's really interesting. I think people think that we would obviously say, well, pay your debt off first because you might pay interest on it or whatever it might be. But the whole reason of why we encourage people to have an emergency fund is so that you don't lean on credit again. And people, when they understand that, it's like a big light bulb moment, like, oh yeah, of course, because I used credit because my washing machine broke or I needed some work done with my car and I didn't have the savings ready to go. So it's just that cushion to make sure that you don't lean on the debt. So once you've got those emergency funds, all you're going to focus on is paying that debt off and never having it again. And therefore you won't need to rely on it because you've got your emergency funds, and they are goals. I think they are adult goals. I properly feel like I'm adulting when I see that emergency fund sat there, because we've been programmed for years, and Laura always brings this up, to save for something. Like, you know that
Saving
when you're
for a car.
yeah,
Saving
it's
for
for
a holiday.
something or an
Saving for
extension or
a table.
yeah,
Saving for.
We're always saving for something, to buy something, but the mindset change to save for potential emergencies just shows how financially well you are. You've got a pot of money sat there that has no allocation. It's for whatever life's going to throw at you, and that is just so freeing, isn't it?
Exactly. No, it's massive. And I think that the other thing with the saving for the emergency fund is, and people don't like to hear this, it's training for the future. Like, we always like instant gratification. We always like to be able to do things
True.
amazingly well and do it first time. But using your budget to save up some money to put into account to not touch, you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Rest of
sorry.
your life.
Spoiler.
It's such a
Sorry.
test.
Yeah.
Like, can you save the emergency fund? If
Because
not,
if you
you're not ready
can't-
to do the
yeah,
debt
if you
free.
can't
That's true.
do that, that's so truly it. If you can't do that, that's just
gonna be
enjoy
tough.
what you're doing and don't bother, because it's the tough bit, and so, but it's nice because the debt gets annoying because that's building up in the meantime, and you're saving up money and you're not overpaying it. But don't jump straight to paying off the debt, because so many people have come to us and gone, oh, I went to.
They want to cut the corners. They think they're hacking the
Quick.
system, and we're like, okay. Like, then they come back like a few weeks later, like, oh, you were all right. You were so right.
So trust the process. So you need to do a budget in the app, build up an excess cash, make sure that you're bringing in less money than you're spending. That excess cash is going to go in a pot somewhere, high yield interest rate, please, if you can. and it's just called emergency fund and it's not for anything else. And then when you've hit your, like a minimum 1 month's expenses is what we say, jump straight back over to overpaying the debt. It sounds like she's got 2, so let's order them. If they're both an okay interest rate, do the snowball method, which is smallest to largest. If one of them's a dodgy interest rate, put that one first. You'll just feel a bit better. But you doing one thing at a time. So let's say this payday, December payday, and January is all about saving up that 1 month's expenses, and February might be as well. But you've got your eye on March, and when March comes around, you know, you are going to use your excess to then overpay the debt. The other thing it does, it gets you a bit excited. You might be like, right, these shitty Christmas presents that I didn't like, that's vinted. That's Facebook Marketplace.
People get a bit feral in our community when it comes to saving for their emergency fund in particular, because they've got the bug of like saving for something and they're like, how can I get there quicker? Because they're desperate.
Want to start paying the debt.
They want to pay the debt. Like Laura said, they can see the debt. So they're like, screw that. I've got my eye on March, but actually, could I make it February? Like that present's going, that dress is
the
going.
hurdle, like they've got to get past it.
We send so many of our community members to like a Vinted or an eBay or a Facebook Marketplace. You're all welcome, by the way, those platforms, because people sell anything that's not nailed to the floor. They're like, it's gone.
Yeah, the kids don't buy something on, they like sell it and get the cash.
Yeah.
Because that's for another time. I've seen lots of people do that circular thing, but good luck. Let us know how you get on, because what I want is you coming back to us in spring in your new debt-free era, setting some new goals with us.
Definitely. I'm excited for you. Okay, in the community, I did a little post and said, round up your year for me. Tell me some wins you've had. So I'm just going to reel some of these off because they're pretty amazing. So this is from Hannah. She got married, passed her motorbike driving test, secured a fully remote job, and joined the Financielle community. She said, that wasn't a goal as such, but something I accidentally stumbled across and so glad I did. She also saved up her mini emergency fund.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well done.
We've got
wow,
Kelly.
Firsts.
We've got Kelly, who became 100% debt-free, finally broke up with credit cards, saved a mini emergency fund, started saving for a house deposit.
Woo!
That flat's yours.
We've got Lama, who said, this year I have paid off my credit card debt in full, switched to a new job with a higher pay, saved up a mini emergency fund, completed my investment goal for 2024, and started saving for a car.
I'm sorry.
Loving these roundups. This is like,
now you're just showing
off.
off.
My life. Yeah.
And then we have Helen, who found Financielle, paid off my next account, and paid fully for next year's holiday. And she says, she gives us a little bonus. In 2025, I will have a mini emergency fund and clear my credit card.
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
That's a great win.
Imagine going to the new year knowing what you're going to achieve. And now we've talked about resolutions, but goals are a little bit different.
I feel like with money, you're like, there's logistics involved,
Yes.
and it's like, that is the date I'm going to be debt free.
That's
the date I'm
you
going
can
to clear
work
that
out
debt.
it's maths. It is. You can project forward. Right. When do I want to? How much have I got? How much do I make each month? How much can I put aside? What's my excess? Blah blah blah. We're all about modeling financial goals. So much easier, by the way, to hit than any other. I think because it's maths.
Yeah, it's maths. And also like
the only time maths is fun.
Yeah.
the flex when she's going to be on a holiday. Because I always say this: when you're on holiday, you're on the Sun Lounger. Have a look around and be like, who paid for this? Did Visa pay for this? I paid for this. In fact, ask people, how did you pay for this?
Oh, you've not yet.
Oh, you're paying it off for next year. It's the quiet smug factor. So well done.
Yeah, I love that. Ooh. If you'd like to send us your win, head to the community or email it to thevault@financielle.com. Okay, actually, now the final dilemma of 2024. I can never stick to my New Year goals. Hi girls. Every January, I get so motivated to set goals and create a budget, but by March, I've fallen completely off track. It's like I lose all my momentum and I end up feeling worse than before. I want 2025 to be different, but I don't know how to make goals that actually stick. Should I set smaller goals or is there a way to stay consistent when life gets busy? I'm tired of starting over every year and just want to feel like I'm making real progress. How can I break this cycle?
I feel like I probably didn't know this would be the question before I waxed lyrical about goals before and stuff and milestones. But do you know what? Like, it is that point that whilst I liked the roundup that you just did then, Lucy, because it was what people had achieved. But you don't always have to say in 2025, I'm going to achieve. They were just kind of the results. And so I think maybe my guidance to this dilemma is going to be more like that, which is maths driven. So what would you like to achieve, and whether they happen in 2025 or not is irrelevant. And you can manipulate and bring goals forward like we've talked about, but not overwhelming. Just like, what are the things you want to achieve in your life? And so I just definitely feel that thinking about what are the things that you would like to achieve. So it could be a house move. It could be trying for children and paying for that if you need to. It could be a house move to like a new rental. It could be a new wardrobe. Like, it can be superficial and deep as well. What are things you'd like to achieve? And it starts with the budget. And when you put your budget together, that's your plan. That'll tell you when you can hit things, because we've talked about this before. You can either do one thing at a time when it comes to these extra like life goals, or you can, like, once you're a bit further on in your journey, do multiple and you just get there a bit more slowly. And we've had these dilemmas before where you go, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And you go, well, you can't do everything. What would you like to do first? And you'll get there. And some of them may land in this year, but they don't have to. And this is about bringing it to your lifestyle, not, right, going to do, it's not like running a 10K. I don't think it is, because what we want you to do is change what you're doing for life. So if you want to run 10K by, or let's say 5K, Catch 5K is a great system where you do have to train for it. And if you fall off the wagon, you don't hit it. It's like a binary, yes or no. Whereas if you actually make a commitment to get better with money, and if you have some goals that you want to hit and you plan them out, some of them might land this year, some of them might land next. But as long as you don't plan too intensely, there's not a wagon to fall off, because it's just a new way of doing things.
Yeah, maybe it's I'm going to stick to my January budget rather than
break it
January,
down into
I'm going to get my money shit together for 2025 and I'm going to save this, that and the other. No, maybe we make it so small and achievable that I stick to my January budget. And by the way, it sounds like if you can't stick to a budget, you're not doing your budget properly. You might be going too intense, because I don't know your specific money goals, but if you're trying to pay off debt or whatever it might be, you're so desperate to get there. Yeah. You're going, I'm not going to eat anything this month.
I'm not having any coffees ever.
I'm not going to see any friends this month, and there'll be no cinema trips.
I hear that so often.
So many people just go too hard. So I think you're not hitting your goals, which sounds like you want to stick to a budget. I don't think your budget's right. And you can ask in the community as well. I love it when people go, we're a family of 4 and our grocery amount that we put to one side every month is this much. What's everyone else's? And everyone goes in and explains, we spend £400 a month because we get food vouchers, or we school pay for dinners because they're in reception, so we don't have to worry about the packed lunches, and people give a little bit of context. So you can go on forums as well. People will say how much they spend and how, but you might just be going too tight, and don't make the goal too big. For January, I would say, for January, I want to stick to January's budget. That's really short-term goal. That's 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean going hard in on something like trying to do 75 hard or whatever we've looked at in the past when it comes to these little habit changes. They're a little bit drastic, but yeah, just maybe bring that goal in. Make it a bit more of a gentle goal.
Gentle goal.
And let us help you as well.
Gentle
Gentle goal.
I like the monthly breaking it down.
Yeah. If she said, by March, I'm like, you're thinking too far ahead.
Yeah.
You might need to think in small, little chunks.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to think long, and they can see into the future, and they've got this like long goal, especially if you're on a debt-free journey. Like, I don't know. I don't think Hannah woke up on the 1st of January and said, I'm going to achieve all these things this
exactly.
year.
I think that's the point. It's
Things
like,
pop up.
I would like to be debt-free. I'll do some maths about when that could be.
Whereas Kelly probably did, because she was on this debt-free journey. So she, like you said, maths, planned out how much she can put towards a goal each month. And we know that she did, because she shared with us a debt-free date. And she hit that because she was on a debt-free journey. But yeah, I don't think Hannah woke up and said, I'm going to save my emergency fund. I don't think she did. I think they gently came along when she got in the community a little bit more and saw what other people were doing and had a little look around. Yeah.
Definitely.
Go for January.
I'm going to finish off. This is going to be like our time capsule that we're going to have to listen back to in 2025, last episode. What are your New Year goals?
Financially, I would like to focus more on investing. So we have got into a good rhythm. It's very passive, our investing journey at the moment. So I'd like to be, because it's so passive, I'd like to have a little bit more like of my investment, my time and energy put into it, so I can be a bit more, have a bit more autonomy about where it goes, like what kind of funds I'm investing in, what do we care about as a family, and then we can turn around when we're older and say, we did that, like we really cared about the environment, or we really cared about women's issues, or whatever it might be, and invest in those companies and kind of choose them. Whereas at the moment, we kind of hand it off to a robo investment platform and kind of let them do the work for us. We give a hint about what we might want, so we do invest in fossil free fuel funds and that type of thing, but I'd like to have a little project with me and Neil and kind of choose the companies that we want to invest in.
And see how it performs, so you can
Yeah,
you can
track
check
it
in with us.
more.
Can't
I'm
you?
very like,
you can ask, can't we? We could be like, right, how's it going?
the graph's
Yeah.
going up, so that's good.
But I think that, you know, if you're tracking your net worth, it's like this bigger figure. But actually, imagine like looking at, like, say, your stocks and shares ISA and going, right, okay, we're going to consciously contribute 250 a month to this, and then let's see how it performs. I think that would be nice to share with Financielle. I think
Felt like that little, give you a little behind the scenes on that journey.
Yeah.
I think mine is going to be, I love the concept of the gentle goal. I've been super, super happy with how this year as a family we've navigated doing fun things whilst taking care of the financial basics. So a lot of stuff for us happens in the background, some automated investing for children, some automated extra pension investing. I did show an intention to want to overpay the mortgage more this year. My husband had a job change halfway through the year, and that was a very unsettling time. And there was just this, you know, when you want to go, I want cash. And so we, instead of overpaying the mortgage, we piled up the cash and like, not literally, like, I've got a visual of like a big pile of money, like in the bath swimming. But I think that it's all about how it makes you feel. And at that time, more him than me actually made him, but us feel better to not hand that money over to a mortgage, pay it off and not see it again. We did overpay the mortgage. We got
you
it
can
under a
always
big
do that, can't
Could do it
you?
later, and
Yeah.
we might do it more this year. And so I really liked that balance. And so what I want to continue to do is every budget make the excess big enough so that we have options to do those like random overpayments and extra stuff, but small enough that I've enjoyed it, that we've enjoyed the spending, that we've got that balance.
There's no lack of joy,
To
restriction.
hit the money goal, because a
Yeah.
lot of people do that. They just strip joy, and that goal is then not so great to hit.
No.
It's not as enjoyable to get there.
Yeah, we could overpay our minimum that you're allowed and take off a holiday or two.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
No.
But just remember where I am. This is not a humble brag, but this is very specific. I have been in the trenches and I have gone without, and I've paid off
You're
debt.
years down the line of
And I
this.
kind of missed that a little bit as well. Like, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I just wish it could be so intense again.
Carla puts it on a credit card. Should we pay it off?
But I do think that, like, you know, I'm having to learn to spend again. Our husbands are having to learn to spend again. And I mean, like, we're talking on a pair of bloody trainers. We're not talking like
going in the car this morning, weren't we? I was like, they've gone the other way, them two. I was like, they don't know how to spend money anymore. They don't have any. They're being really frugal and choosing sensible things to buy for Christmas, and we're like, because we feel good and we're in this every single day.
like
We're a
comfy
little bit-
space. It's
Yeah.
like not lavish. It's like comfortable.
No, it's just financially well, and that's
Yeah.
the goal that I want. I would like people to focus on much more than like a monetary. I want 20 grand in my ISA. Like, no, you just want to feel good,
Yeah.
and you can.
Okay. Any other goals for the team?
Mine, I'm going to have a sinking fund for driving.
Oh my god, I've seen this.
I've said it last year on my Pinterest board. For this year, there's two things: a sausage dog and driving certificate. Had zero. None of them.
Is the sausage dog still going to be on this
Coming off, I
Pinterest
think,
board?
isn't
Going
it?
in? Can we
I don't
take the
like-
sausage
I've
dog
changed
off?
No
my mind. I
offense to
don't like
sausage dog.
sausage
Just go
dogs
to a
anymore.
puppy cafe and get it done with. Just have a little
But
stroke.
this is the year. I'm settled where we are, where we're living, and I'm like, okay, these roads seem nice.
Yes.
I couldn't be
She
driving
was
in
battling
Manchester.
the Manchester roads, and
The roads.
you weren't feeling it, were you?
No. So this is the year. This time next year.
She's been bombing it around them country lanes.
Yeah. I'm saying it here.
What, have we got a goal of when you want to be driving by in 2025? Have you thought that far ahead, or is it just that's the year?
No,
And
because
that's
I'm
okay too.
gonna do a few lessons and just see what.
Okay.
Because I did have a few lessons when I first got my provisional, and it was bumpy to say the
It's
least.
the same for everyone,
That's okay.
honestly. Like, no one knows how to do it first time.
Yeah.
So that's super
Apart
exciting.
from my 5-year-old that I confidently feel could break into a car
Oh,
and drive his way to wherever he wants
He
to go.
definitely could. No, but I like
Comfortably.
that. The gentle goal is this is the year that I'm going to hand over some money and get some lessons.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna save up in my sinking fund, so I'm like ahead with lessons.
Yeah. But that's a good idea.
I'm not gonna do a crash course yet. Maybe I will build my sinking fund up for that.
do
but
the crash course. Do not.
I need a
give
few
your
lessons first, though.
multiple hours a week away to driving for months. Like, just get it done. That's my advice.
And also, my another New Year's goal, New Year's goal to that is convincing my boyfriend to get insured on his car.
Yes.
We can help you with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Petition.
You can
We'll
write a
all sign
message
it.
for me.
We've got 10,000 signatures from
send-
the financial community.
Send your
Alex.
dilemma in to
Yeah.
the vault of financial.
And then play it when you're in the car with him. That's a really good idea. Don't you think you should do that?
Yeah, much more financially economical. Okay.
Lydia?
Lydia.
Well, I've had quite a strict year for personal reasons, but I feel like I'm starting to come out the other side of that now, and like I'm going to start putting more money into sinking funds and actually just let go and like Laura said, like learning to spend more, maybe putting more into like travel sinking funds. And I also just got my yoga teaching qualification, so I'm gonna 2025 I'll do some yoga teaching. Like it's not going to be like a proper side hustle like for money, but it might be nice to have like extra 20 quid a week or whatever.
Doing something that you like anyway.
Yeah, I'd be doing it anyway on my own, so may as well.
May as well help people like us along. That
Or you'd be,
can't touch our
you'd be
toes.
paying someone to do it and you might be more qualified than them. So yeah.
Someone to hang out with me.
Yeah. I think they're great ones.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
love
such
that.
a good one for you, Lydia. Like to learn to spend whilst hitting goals. And I think that's the magic of like the financial plan and the methodology of it is showing you that both can be true. Both can happen. But I think what happens is you've got to tick certain boxes first. So like being able to manage your expenses in a way that doesn't get you stressed. That's a thing to tick off before you can start delving into extra spending. So some people don't do that and go all into the spending and like la la la. But you know, doing that, and then that next phrase of starting to build up, start having an emergency fund that's at a level that you kind of go, my expenses are this and my emergency fund are this, and that feels okay.
Yeah.
And I can turn off spending if I wanted to, but starting to introduce like these like memory making things and the travel stuff is exciting.
Yeah, I was looking at the playbook earlier and I was like, the survive section, I was like, completed it. Like it's like know your numbers, mini emergency fund, done. What's the other one?
Debt free.
Debt free.
Yeah.
Haven't got any debt.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel in a really good place.
Nailed
so.
your budget. You're comfortable with that monthly budget now.
So
and
you're
how
in
it
build.
sits.
So are you happy with your emergency fund?
I'm building a large emergency fund.
Yeah.
But that's just like that money is straight away when I'm paid. I'm just putting that away.
So that's ticking away in the background.
And then I can just put the rest in like.
Lydia, that's amazing.
And you have, and like I said, if in the future you want to buy a house, there's a house deposit thing happening slowly. And but the important one that you're talking about is build your bigger emergency fund, big life goals, and save for a house deposit. And the big life goals thing is really hard to describe, but it's about re-looking back at your budget and saying, in Survive, this is where I shouldn't be going. I'm going on bougie travel trips, or I'm putting extra stuff in. It's when you want to get out of Survive. Once you're out of there, you should relax that budget, and we should get
the
to a point
shoulders should
where
come
Bougie
down a
trip
little
time.
bit. Yeah.
and it should be, but that's where the budget. But you're still paying for it with cash. You're still saving up in advance. It's still not easy, but it's this time where like you should be, adding beauty to your budget if that was a thing, and you cut back on. If you were a foodie, adding the food back in.
Travel.
If you need better crockery,
Yeah, well, I've not had a haircut for like 8 months. So.
And you won't feel guilty for having it, because I think you would have felt guilty before. If like a few months ago you would have felt guilty to go and have a haircut, whereas now you should go and enjoy your haircut. Like I do, because I've got that sinking fund. Do you want Olaplex? Yes, I do.
Yeah. Actually relax when they're washing my hair.
Yeah. Because you're not gripping onto thinking, what's it
on,
what's it
eyes
going
wide
to cost
open.
me? But you can still be educated and say how much, so you know beforehand. Ring up a few months before and say, if I wanted to come in and have a full this, full that, what's it going to cost me? And then you build the sinking fund up for it. There's no like shit when they tell you the price at the end and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to put it on a credit card. No, you've got to be fully. Yeah. Do you want to tip? I always tip tip your hairdressers.
Tip your hairdressers.
It's a hard job.
Yeah. It's when you know the wheels won't fall off because of a decision. That's where guilt in a decision comes, if it's at the expense of something else. So, well, let's do the time capsule recheck-in in a year, but also we'll dip into how we're feeling periodically. You can hold us all accountable.
I'm sure we're fine at sharing our feelings with everyone. How are you?
Okay. That is all for this episode. The Vault is now closed. Just a quick disclaimer, The Vault is just a chat around life and money topics. We are not giving financial advice. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.